Hello, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to Masterful Chats. Short, concise, clarifying conversations designed to illuminate, inspire, empower, and support you as you move forward on your spiritual path and in your life's journey. And today's chat is about the sacred and holy days of witnessing another person's passing. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an information synthesizer, a mystical scholar, and an intuitive. And I believe with my heart and my entire being that we are each a child of God. We are all known individually by our energetic signature, and we are known and loved completely and totally beyond measure. As I'm sure you'll notice, I'm in a different location. I'm actually in my kitchen. I live in the Sonoran Desert, and at this time of year, the temperatures are above 100 degrees every day. So the air conditioning goes on, the long hair goes up, and we do our best to stay hydrated and cool. So during this summer, I will be trying out different locations in my home where I can get the best lighting and recording with the air conditioning constantly running. So bear with me. I appreciate your patience. And please remember to stay to the end of the video because I'll be offering you a spiritual tool to help you move through your day with more ease and grace and peace. So now let's chat about being of service and witnessing and walking another person home. Life is a cycle of nature. Things are born and things die. And we witness that every year with spring and summer, fall and winter. We are made from the earth. Our bodies are made from the earthly elements. And our lives mirror the cycles of nature. Many of us in our lives have made the commitment not only to be caregivers, but to be witnesses as another person makes their transition from this earthly plane home to the Creator. And those days can be filled with a lot of busyness when you're navigating the medical profession, you're making appointments with doctors, you're dealing with insurance companies, transportation issues, caregiving issues. It can be quite exhausting for anyone. I know in my own personal experience in caring for my mother, the toll that it can take. I think it's important to remember that the days that we help a person as a caregiver or as a witness while they are making their transition, that the time is very, very sacred and holy. That we made that commitment to them, to be with them, and to assist them. And really, it is an honor to do that. And there are lessons to be learned in those tasks and during those days. They can be times of tremendous challenge, but also surrender and love and forgiveness. And if you can focus on the breath and stay in the present moment without going back into the past or projecting into the future, it will make that journey easier. Always remember that the person who is in transition is on their path, and you are there to support them as best you can. They may be in a lot of pain, and they may have a lot of anger, and they may not have dealt with things during their lives. They may be very, very unhappy, and there may be a lot of unfinished business. And if that is the case, or even if it's not, remember that this was their life path and that you were in a supporting role. Do what you can to alleviate their pain and suffering. Manage their care to the best of your ability. Say what needs to be said, if anything needs to be said, because it's much easier to do that when they're here on the planet versus when they're not. Use the days to wrap up unfinished business, and yet to honor their choices. Because if it is a parent, as children, we don't think of our parents as individuals. We think of them only as mom and dad. But they are people with their own path, who've made their own choices, and are in the situations they're in, and they've had their own stories. And if you can see your parents as their own person, it doesn't make it all about you anymore, which I think can be very, very helpful. Because sometimes we may want to take away their pain and their anguish and their frustration and their fear and their anger. And we really can't. They have their own choices. So support them as best you can and love them as best you can and give the rest to God. The biggest thing when people have passed in my life is that everything that needed to be said was said, and that after they passed, I had no regrets. And so if you can do that, if you have the opportunity to share and to heal and to forgive and to love, I would suggest you do that. And view the days that are exhausting and trying and frustrating as more than exhausting, trying, and frustrating. Know that what you are doing, the support you are giving, the life transition that you are witnessing, it is a very sacred and holy thing. All things are spiritual. And supporting another's passing and caregiving for a human being that is transitioning is very sacred and holy, and acknowledge that. There's a tremendous amount of suffering on the planet these days. And just sometimes our very presence can ease the pain and anguish of another being. And that is really a lovely thing. And that's what we're here for. Thank you for listening and being with me for this week's Masterful Chat. The spiritual tool that I'm going to provide you today is the Violet Flame of Saint Germain. And it's a beautiful violet flame. So just see a flame of light that's violet. And I want you to close your eyes and bring that violet flame into your heart, into your sacred heart. And that violet flame merges with the flame on the altar in the sanctuary of the pink diamond in your sacred heart. And the two flames merge into a luminescent flame. And this flame expands into a huge ball of light that goes out beyond your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And this violet flame purifies all of your fields of being. It enhances all that you are, and it burns off all that you are not. And see that violet ball of light encircling your entire being. And I'd suggest you do this for about 5 minutes a day. And I'd love to hear your experiences if you'd leave a comment and let me know. I would also appreciate it if you would let me know what you would like me to talk about, what we'd like to chat about in future Masterful Chats, so that I can be of service to you. I'm also going to begin to do shorts, as YouTube calls them, about 1-minute videos. And so if you have a quick question or a thought or something you want me to address, please leave a comment, because I think that would be quite fun to do some shorts on your questions and any concerns that you might have. If you would, please like, share, subscribe. I would really appreciate it to help grow the channel. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for being with me here today. And wherever you're at in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Until we chat again, blessings.